All right, this is the last final, or last for your final review. So you have 5a minus 2 equals 3a plus 8 plus a. So on this side, I'm going to distribute over the parentheses. That gives me 5a minus 10. Combine like terms, that gives me 4a plus 8. Subtract 4 from both sides. This side becomes a. Add 10 to both sides. This side becomes 18. There's our answer. Problem number 2. We have x to the third minus 8x squared plus 12x equals 0. I can factor an x out first, so it's going to leave me x squared minus 8x plus 12 equals 0. So because of this outside x, one of my answers is x equals 0. We're done with that one. I need to factor this one. So you have to figure out what you're going to plug in. What two numbers multiply together to give me 12, add to give me negative 8, and it's going to be negative 2x and negative 6x. Factor this out, and that becomes x minus 2 minus a 6, and that's x minus 2. This grouped up minus 2. So my answers are x equals 0. Because of that, x minus 6, x equals 6, and x plus 2 are my answers. All right, problem number 3. We get x squared minus 20 equals 0. Add 20 to both sides. Take the square root of both sides. Don't forget plus minus when you do that. And then I can break 20 down. 20 breaks down to 4 and 5. So square root of 4 is 2, so I get plus or minus 2 root 5 is the answer. Problem number 4. I get 2x squared minus 13x plus 20 equals 0. So I'm going to multiply those together. I'm going to get positive 40. Both signs are negative because I have a negative here and a positive here. What two numbers multiply together to give me 40, add together to give me negative 13, and that's going to be negative 5x and negative 8x. And I'm going to plug those in, so I get 2x squared minus 5x minus 8x plus 20 is equal to 0. Factor an x out of both of those. That leaves me 2x minus 5. Bring that negative out, factor a negative 4 out. That's going to give me 2x minus 5. So I get x minus 4 equals 0. So x equals 4 is one answer. And then I get 2x minus 5 is the other answer. That's equal to 0. So add 5 to both sides. Divide by 2. So my two answers are 5 over 2 and 4. Problem number 5. I get 5x squared plus 10x equals 75. It needs to be equal to 0, so I'm going to subtract 75 from both sides. That's equal to 0. I can go ahead and divide everything by 5, including the 0. And that's going to give me x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. So let's factor this now. What two numbers multiply together to give me negative 15, add to give me positive 2 if you do it the fast way. Positive 5 and negative 3 work. Set those equal to 0, so x equals negative 5 for one answer. X equals 3 for the other answer. Problem number 6, again, I need to make sure that I have it equal to 0. It's equal to 5 right now, so let's go x squared plus 2x minus 5 equals 0. This one won't factor, so we have to go right to the quadratic formula, which is x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. So my a value is 1, my b value is 2, and my c value is 5, and let's plug them in. So I get x equals negative 2 plus or minus 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 5 divided by 2 times 1. So let's do the math. So I get negative 2 plus or minus 4. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. That's positive 20 over 2. So I'm going to get negative 2 plus or minus square root 24 over 2. 24 is going to break down to 4 times 6 over 2. Square root of 4 is going to give me 2. And then you can reduce everything outside. 2 goes into each thing one time. So my answer is negative 1 plus or minus square root 6. That's what x is equal to. Number 7, we get x squared minus 3x equals 4. So we'll bring the 4 back over. So this one I think we can go ahead and factor. The two numbers multiply to give me negative 4, add together to give me that. And I'm going to go negative 4 and positive 1. Set those both equal to 0, so x equals 4 for one answer, x equals negative 1 for another answer. Problem number 8. One of two ways you can do number 8. You could do it as the difference of two squares, or you could add 25 to both sides. Take the square root of both sides. Don't forget plus minus. So x equals plus or minus 5, because square root of 25 is 5. Number 9, x to the third minus 6x squared minus 16x equals 0. So we can factor an x out of everything. So because of this, one of my answers is x equals 0. And then we can go ahead and factor this out. So what two numbers multiply together to give me negative 16, add together to give me 6, and that'd be negative 8 and positive 2. So I also have answers of x equals 8. And x equals negative 2. So all three of these are the answers, 0, 8, and negative 2. Problem number 10. Problem number 10, we're going to get 6x squared minus 27x. Go ahead and add the 27, bring it over to make it equal to 0. You can divide everything by 3 first. So that's going to give me 2x squared minus 9x plus 9 equals 0. Let's go ahead and factor it. Multiply those together. I get positive 18. And so both sides are going to be negative. The two numbers that multiply together to give me 18 and add together to give me negative 9 are negative 3x and negative 6x. So go ahead and plug them in to factor them. So factor an x out, so I get 2x minus 3. Factor a negative 3 out, and that's going to give me 2x minus 3. Both signs change, so x minus 3 equals 0, so x equals 3. There's one answer. 2x minus 3 equals 0, so add 3 to both sides. Divide by 2. So my two answers are x equals 3 and x equals 3 over 2. Number 11. Number 11, I get 2x minus 4 equals x plus 15. So subtract x from both sides. Add 4 to both sides. X equals 19. Number 12, I get x squared plus 6x minus 3 equals 0. This will not factor, so my a value is 1, my b value is 6, my c value is negative 3. Quadratic is x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So let's plug in what we know. X equals negative 6 plus or minus 6 squared is 36. Minus 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 3 is positive 12 over 2 times 1. So that's going to give me negative 6 plus or minus square root 48 over 2. 48 breaks down to 16 times 3. So that's going to break down to 4 root 3 over 2. And you can go ahead and reduce everything by 2. So the answer to this is x equals negative 3 plus or minus 2 root 3. Okay, backside. Number 13, I get w squared minus 8w equals 0. I can factor w out of both. So one answer is w equals 0. The other answer is w equals 8. Number 14, I get x squared. Go ahead and add 2x to both sides to bring it over on the right side. Minus 8 equals 0. I think I can factor this. That's going to be x plus 4, x minus 2. So my answers are x equals -4 and x equals 2. All right, number 15. We get 2x squared minus 20 equals -12. Add 20 to both sides. So that gives me 32. Divide both sides by 2. Take the square root of both sides. Don't forget the plus minus. So x equals plus or minus square root of 16 is 4. Number 16. I get 5x squared minus 9x. Go ahead and subtract the 2 to bring it over. Multiply those together, so I get -10. So I have a positive negative component. So it's going to be -10x and positive 1x would add together positive 1x. Those would add together, give me -9, so I get 5x squared. All right, ask your teacher to finish number 16 for you. Let's do number 17. Let's distribute over, so I get 6x minus 12 plus 5 equals 41. Add the like terms, so I'm going to get -7 equals 41. Add 7 to both sides, so that should become that's a 41. Equals 48. Divide both sides by 6, so I get x equals 8. That's my answer. Number 18. I get 2x plus 1 quantity squared minus 7 equals 1. Add 7 to both sides. That gives me 8. Divide 2 on both sides. Take the square root of both sides. Don't forget the plus minus. So I get x plus 1 equals plus or minus 2. Subtract 1 from both sides. So I get -1 plus 2 is 1. -1 minus 2 is -3. Those are my two answers. That's what x equals. Number 19. X squared minus 8x plus 12 equals that. So what two numbers multiply together to give me positive 12, add together to give me -8, and that's going to be -6 and -2, so x equals 6 and x equals 2. Number 20, I get 2x to the third plus 10x squared. Go ahead and add 8x to both sides. We can factor a 2x out of everything. That's going to leave me x squared plus 5x plus 4. So this is going to give me 2x equals 0. So x equals 0 as one answer. Factor this out. So what two numbers multiply together to give me 4? Add it together to give me 5. It's 4 and 1 add up to 5. So I also get an answer of x equals -4 and an answer of x equals -1. Number 21. I get 2x squared plus 4x equals 5. Subtract the 5 from both sides. Actually, go ahead and ask your teacher to help you with number 21 and number 22. This is for the final.